We all enjoy watching videos about unboxing of products, and those of us who make videos enjoy doing so. It's fun taking a new product that you've never used before and open it up and see how it works right out of the box. And that's a fun thing to do, and it's a fun thing to watch. And I've done quite a few Harbor Freight tools over the years out of the box. And I've always tried to go back after a period of time to see if the tool is holding up the way it should. Well, this is basically the third round of looking at Harbor Freight tools and seeing if they hold up over the long haul. This deserves a good talk about. So let's go out to the shop and look at some Harbor Freight tools. The first two tools I would like to be talking about is, first of all, the workstation and the belt sander. Both are from Harbor Freight. This now has the Bauer brand on it rather than the Franklin workstation that I got. The first one locked up on me, and the second one has worked like a champ ever since it was replaced. I've had no problems with the central machinery belt sander whatsoever, and it's fantastic for what I'm using it for. I took off the table that came with it and basically stripped it down to a minimal thing, and I use it for sharpening knives. Both are excellent tools. I've got 1,000 grit belt on this, and it sharpens our cutlery as sharp as it needs to be for the kitchen. Now, if I was going to be sharpening the blade on the planer or something, I may go through and do an additional honing to bring it up to a little bit better sharpness. But for the kitchen, you don't really need to have knives any sharper than what you would have with a 1,000 grit belt on the central machinery belt sander. Does a great job. The Franklin workstation, now Bauer workstation, does a great job too. I use it more than my regular vices. They are good tools to have. I must have used maybe close to 20 different styles of wire strippers in my lifetime, from the most basic up to the fanciest, and I find that these Doyle strippers are the best that I've run across. Now, there may be better ones out there, but for me, the way that I like it, it does a great job. The weak part of it is that these blades will get dull every once in a while, and you'll have to swap them out. But right on the front of it, this is wire gauge, what size wire it is, and then it has teeth in the back that grabs it, and it strips a wire beautifully. So I would say this is maybe a 12 gauge wire. Let's see what it'll do. A perfect stripping of the wire and no nicking of the copper underneath. I really like these wire strippers. This is an inexpensive set of Pittsburgh end wrenches, combination wrenches. It goes from 1/4 up to 3/4, and there's only a couple of skips in it, sizes you normally wouldn't use. If you need those, you can pick them up separately. They have a lifetime warranty, but let me explain what it means. If you have a problem with one breaking, it'll be replaced. But if you want to return something because it's a bad design, and that happened with the drywall T-square, they designed that wrong. They just did a silk screen on top of some aluminum, and when I was trying to get the gum label off of it, it also took off the lettering. And to take it back, make sure you do it within the 90-day period. Otherwise, all they will do is swap it out for another one, and that drywall T-square is absolutely worthless. It will just, the numbers will rub off, whereas the other things like the combination square that they have and the rafter square are all etched so that the numbers are recessed into it. But these Pittsburgh combination wrenches I've had for quite a while. Now, they're maybe considered a little shorter than most, but there are times when you want a shorter set of tools. So I find these are fantastic, and I've had them, 20 years or so. Now we look over at these socket holders for ratchets. There's a red one, and they've got a black one. These are Pittsburgh impact sockets along here. Basically what I have for the others are the original Craftsman sockets and Harbor Freight sockets, probably the Pittsburgh line. Haven't had any problems with the sockets, haven't had any problems with the socket holders. There is one disadvantage to it. These puppies get heavy. This is probably about 30 pounds of weight right here with everything that I've got on it, and there's still space for some more. And I don't have them all lined up the way they should. I eventually want to have one set for imperial and one for metric, and I haven't gotten there yet. But I do like the way that they hold the sockets. They come off fairly easy. You know, you have to do it a couple of times before it's appropriate, but I don't seem to see any weakening of the springs, and it does a very good job. I've had these probably a couple of years, and started with one, picked up the other. Both good tools, the sockets and the socket holders. Here are 3 more things that I've gotten at Harbor Freight. It's important to have a straight edge that's got markings on it, such as a ruler that starts at 0. All too often, they'll start a 1/4 inch in for the first graduate and don't adjust for it being offset. This is an Empire, but believe it or not, I got it at Harbor Freight. It does me very, very good on it. Starts at 0 also. This one is an exact level and tool manufacturer, and I got it from Harbor Freight. This one I've had for quite a while, and then I picked up this Empire one, and they both start at 0. This one is Imperial. This one has metric on the other side. That's why I picked it up. Because if you have to cross over from Imperial to metric or metric to Imperial, kind of hard to do it in your head. It's just easier to measure it in whichever format that you want. This is a Bauer impact drill. The first one that I got, the chuck through bits, it said the batteries were dead after about 2 minutes worth of use. Took it back, talked to one of the system managers at Harbor Freight. Is this a bad design or did I get a lemon? And she said her husband had one and it's worked flawlessly from the beginning. So I trusted her and picked up another one. No complaints, works perfectly, like what it does. It's got 2 speeds, it's reversible. You can adjust for a different amount of torque. Good little tool. And the same with this. I've had no problems with it, and I use it more than what I thought I would. It does a good job for an impact driver. So those are some of the things from Harbor Freight that I have, and I've had for quite a while. It isn't that I just had it a couple of weeks. I've had these things for a good length of time. Don't get the blue anvil, get the Doyle anvil. The blue anvil, I'm not going to, no, I gave it away, come to think of it. The blue anvil is not a good anvil, except if you want to use it for a boat anchor. The Doyle is pretty close to what you would find in a blacksmith anvil. Not quite as bouncy. You want bounce when you hit with a hammer, you want it to come back. So a Doyle anvil is pretty good that way. Not up to blacksmithing, but good for DIY. Well, those are the tools that I thought I'd show you right now that have lasted me a good length of time. I forgot to show you the US General. Now this is Series 1. This cart has done me well as a Yukon that we keep in the kitchen for pots and pans, and we have things set on top like a toaster oven and an Instapot. Does very well in the kitchen. So 2 other things that Harbor Freight makes that is fantastic. Well, that's about it for right now. This is the Old Farmer saying, thanks for watching, and please be safe.
Before we go, thank you to our subscribers who helped us reach over the 1,000 subscription mark. It's very humbling to receive the support from our subscribers. Thank you. I will always try to give you accurate information, and I'm not worried if you disagree in comments. Just remember, youngsters may read your words. Well, this is the Old Farmer Scott Bain saying, be well, be safe, and be kind to someone today.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching the original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.